Cosmic Girl 101 signing on for the Capricorn Rising Astrology of July 2024. Let's have a look at the slower moving planetary transits first. We've got Uranus direct Capricorn Rising in Taurus, your fifth house of joy and pleasure, and goes into a retrograde on September 1st. Jupiter's currently transiting in detriment in Gemini, your sixth house, and goes retrograde on October 9. Pluto's retrograde in Aquarius, your second house, and then on September 1st retrogrades into Capricorn, your first house. Then Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, your third house, and goes direct November 15. And on July 2nd, Neptune goes retrograde in Pisces, your third house, and direct on December 7. So Capricorn Rising, you have two outer planets moving very slowly in a retrograde motion in your third house. So your third house is possibly really significant to you at this time, quite simply because it sextiles your first house. So it's impacting your physical body, your psychology, your character, how people see you. So the third house topics are about siblings and cousins, short distance traveling, your immediate environment. It's like where you frequent every day. It's a very busy house connected to communication, technology, technological gadgets. It's where we learn, it's where we teach. So we're very teachable, or we are happy to be a teacher. We're also learning, like learning new skills on the day-to-day, and also connected to our own mental landscapes. Is a very activated house that activates the brain, if you will. So a lot of mental stimulation connected to the third house. So Saturn and Neptune retrograding here in a very slow transit up until November and December this year is providing an opportunity to go back and get on top of communication, get on top of what's working for you on the day-to-day. On the 5th of July, there's a new moon in Cancer, your 7th house, and the 7th house opposes your first house. So this is an opposition of what do I want to begin in regards to a relationship, creating more joy and pleasure for myself. This is the house of pleasure. It's also marriage, relationships, partnerships, negotiations, your contracts, agreements. This is where we sign on the dotted line, this 7th house. It's where we sign the contract. We shake hands. We're in agreement. We're in it together. We put a ring on it. So when you're having a new moon occurring here in that watery, feminine yin cardinal sign of Cancer, you're ready to take action that feels safe and secure and something that nurtures you. So the 7th house opposing the first house feels like it's a necessary new beginning to feel like you're creating more pleasure and emotional fulfillment for yourself. July 21st, there's a full moon in Capricorn, your first house, and Saturn, the dispositor of the full moon, is retrograde in Pisces, your third house, sextiling the full moon. So your third house and first house in a sextile, and you've got that very loud full moon occurring. So you expressing, delivering information about yourself, and a psychological breakthrough, or you're revealing some very deep truths to others, or others may see you as very confident in expression or what you actually do, or you may be revealing something physical that's going on with you, or starting to feel like you need to really chime into the body and get active and motivated again. So it's an interesting full moon, but because it sextiles that third house of Saturn, the ruler of your sign and your first house, there is a sense of maturity, stability, and also things that have been very chronic and long-term now might have their moment in the spotlight. Big reveals I'm feeling for you as a Capricorn rising. Opening up the month of July, we've got that sun transiting through the sign of Cancer, your 7th house, up until July 22nd. So the first 3 weeks you've got that Sun in watery, receptive, cardinal Cancer, about what makes you feel safe, secure, grounded, solid. Do you need emotionally to start something new in a relationship or a contract? Do you feel you need to be more connected? You're more sensitive to others at this time. You're very aware of others' relationships or feelings. You might be getting big reveals from other people when the Sun is in the 7th house for you. On July 22nd until August 22nd, the Sun then ingresses into Leo. And this is your 8th house as a Capricorn rising. Now, this is a very strong transit because the Sun is in its domicile sign. So this is very, very powerful. And what's powerful here for you is that 8th house being illuminated, really drawing your attention, asking for more energy from you, connected to the 8th house topics of resources. Other people's resources that support you, debt, tax, inheritance, also to do with investments. This is where we have long-term contracts. This is finances that support us, whether we are connected with others through their supportive finances. This is highlighted for you very strongly. So if you felt like you've dropped the ball on your financial space, the Sun in Leo, very strong here, can have you really getting down to the details, data and analytics of what is supporting you financially, what is draining you, and just getting on top of your sense of stability through finances. It's a fantastic transit and a strong one, no less. Planet Mars opening up the month of July is continuing its transit in the sign of Taurus, and this is Mars's detriment sign. And this is your 5th house that trines your 1st house, Capricorn rising. So Mars in that 5th house of joy and pleasure, really shaking things up in regards to investments, gambling, sports, athletics, children, your creative pursuits, your romantic connections, the house that makes you feel like you're having fun. And Mars, I don't know, being really rambunctious. You could be passionately pursuing your pleasure pursuits. You could also be in conflict with pleasure and pursuits connected to the 5th house topics. On the 15th of July, Mars is conjuncting Uranus. I've done a separate video about this Mars-Uranus conjunction, which I have already uploaded on the Cosmic Girl 101 YouTube channel. If you would like to have a listen to that video, it's a big astrological day and it deserves its own video. So on the 15th of July 2024, we've got a big astrological day with that Mars conjunct Uranus. This is occurring in your 5th house, Capricorn rising. This could be a sudden return of an investment, or a gamble pays off, or an investment or a gambling pursuit goes completely wrong. But either way, this sets the tone or sets the stage for some sort of breakthrough, whether you drop an investment or the investment lands and something pays off quite big for you. Also to do with a romantic partnership, and also can feel like you are needing a profound change with your children, subjects of creativity, what you do creatively, and also with your sense of joy and pleasure in general. Ready to start something up, but there could be a bit of a bursting of the dam energy here that makes you feel very propelled to take action, and it's quite acute, but necessary action to take you in a different trajectory connected to the 5th house of joy and pleasure. Watch out for partners being unpredictable on this day too, Capricorn rising. 20th of July, Mars is ingressing into Gemini. Now this is your 6th house, where Jupiter is currently transiting as well. And from the 20th of July until September 4th, Mars now going into the 6th house of work, health, service, sickness, illness, workers, co-workers, what you do for work, pets. This is the house where there's a lot of activity for, and so are all the houses. But when Mars comes here, and in Hellenistic teachings, Mars was in his joy in the 6th house, loves to get shit done. If you feel like you need to eliminate, get on top of health problems, have a medical procedure looked at, or actually have a medical procedure, great transit because Mars is strong here and will really cut away things that aren't working for you in the 6th house topics. The 21st of July, Mars is trining retrograde Pluto in Aquarius, and this is your 2nd house of finance, Capricorn rising. This house is about possessions, assets and resources and investments, things that financially support us. It's also where we feel like we need to upskill and have like a niche subject that makes us more employable, or we have some really, quite unique educational experience that benefits us and other people. That's an asset. So when you've got Mars trining retrograde Pluto, I mean, these planets are quite strong in their own right, and they're quite determined. So a trine aspect is lovely from the 2nd house of finance to the 6th house of work and service. If you've been trying to establish something more solid, more potentially wealthy for yourself, connected to the work and your resources, this is a great day where something might land that is quite auspicious in regards to being a big wealth or financial payoff for you. The 25th of July, we see Mars and Sun come into a sextile. So from your 8th house to your 6th house, we've got a Sun and Mars sextile. Very strong, very loud, very proud, very let's go get 'em day, connected to contracts and assets that impact your everyday environment, services you provide, what you do in your everyday work life, and getting on top of long-term chronic ailments is a possibility. The Sun in Leo is all about healing and recovery. So you might be feeling a lot better or ready to take some action connected to your health and your physical body. Planet Mercury has been transiting in Cancer, your 7th house, and on July 2nd ingresses into Leo, your 8th house. This is a really good transit for Mercury to be in your 8th house, Capricorn rising, because you're getting details, you're getting data, you're getting analytics, you're really pulling to pieces your financial standing. And if you are in connection with significant relationships or partnerships with assets and resources, Mercury here can see you taking action, ready to communicate and ready to get down to the details. Very, very helpful transit in the 8th house. On the 8th of July, Mercury is sextiling Jupiter, currently transiting in Gemini, your 6th house, and this is Mercury's sign. So Mercury can really assist with mental dexterity, connected to being sharp and acute with your communication with your 6th house topics of work, co-workers, what you do, services you provide, your health, connected to the 8th house of investments and contracts. It just feels like you're quite empowered to make some pretty intelligent decisions, and the information is available to really get things going and moving for your future. I really like that day, the 8th of July, for you as a Capricorn rising. The 21st of July, Mercury is squaring Uranus and Taurus, your 5th house of joy and pleasure, investments, romance, creativity, sports, athletics, joy and pleasure. Mercury squaring here from the 8th house. It's like, do I have the resources, or can I afford this? Or is a partnership draining my resources? Is there a problem with the partner's resources and they can't commit to an investment or a financial opportunity, for example? Mercury Uranus is like, something about your future connected to joy and pleasure or partner or creativity, romance, investments, gambling is really affecting your financial space. So tricky day on the 21st of July, no less the day of the full moon, your full moon in the 1st house. 25th of July, we see Mercury ingressing into Virgo, its exaltation and domicile sign, strong placement for Mercury to be in until the 4th of August. So 25th of July to the 4th of August, you've got Mercury really, really strong transiting your 9th house. If there's any legal aspects that you're connected with or legal situations that you need to take action on, this is the transit to get things going. This is where you get the opportunity to communicate, look at the paperwork, look at the contracts. Awesome, awesome transit. Now, Mercury in Virgo being so strong can have you purifying and cleansing your spiritual and philosophical outlooks on life, could have you interacting with other people where you take on more education connected to spiritual pursuits. International and foreign connections is favoured here. Learning about different cultures, like simple things like cooking. International travel, travelling to long distant places. Also a lot to do with media and publishing. Obviously, there's a lot going on in every house, but the ninth house is all about how do you expand the consciousness and the mind and connect with the world around you through information. It's a very, very busy house in regards to dialogue with others. And that strong Mercury here can see you really clearing the decks and identifying what's working and what's not, and getting down to the deets. Planet Venus has been transiting in Cancer, your 7th house, and continues her transit here in the 7th house, opening up the month of July. On the 8th of July, Venus is sextiling Uranus in Taurus, your 5th house of joy and pleasure, and this is Venus's sign. So you've got a contract landing, or you're signing on the dotted line in agreement with an investment, a romantic partner. There's a lot of joy and pleasure here to be had on this day that could be surprising, but a nice surprise. And it could have a lot to do with a significant partnership or relationship or a financial aspect of your life. Great day. Circle the 8th of July in your calendar, Capricorn Rising. The 11th of July to August 4, Venus is going to be transiting in Leo, your 8th house. Now, Venus in Leo is sassy, bold, out there, ready to connect, be a little bit more, shall we say, promiscuous in Leo. There's a lot of fun connected with Venus in Leo. But this is your 8th house, so really enjoying opportunities to expand your resources, have investments or resources land. Things become a lot more easier in opening up the assets or resources available to you. Fantastic transit when Venus is in Leo, your 8th house of money. The 21st of July, Venus is sextiling Jupiter in Gemini, your 6th house. And these are the two benefics, Venus and Jupiter, coming into a sextile. This is really nice for finances and your daily routine with work, your body. It seems like a day of pleasure, or investing in pleasure, like going to a day spa, looking at, what gives you a sense of joy connected to services that you provide to other people, or what you do or interact with work and co-workers. Just looks like a fabulous day with those two benefics lining up with your 6th house of everyday stuff and with the 8th house of finance and resources. Cosmic Girl 101 signing off. I trust you have a fabulous month of July 2024, Capricorn Rising. I will catch you next video. Thanks for tuning in.